Our play begins in the middle of things. It might take time to figure out what is happening, but it will all start coming together soon. It's still dark. Hello.
Hope springs eternal, but the water runs through your fingers.
So, Burakh, your performance was a flop. You're unfit for the role. A cursed production. This is our second attempt. And a second failure. Come on, the first run was decent. That is, not for you to judge. We gave it all we had. Whatever, you are dismissed. The bird will give you your final payment. Aren't you tired of those big heads? The trouble. They were the only useful people around. Right. Pressing left control highlights characters who have something to say. Seeing as we finally arrived at the end of the game, I believe it only appropriate to thank all those who are even partially or unknowingly to blame for this Let's Play's existence. If you thought I was a bore, or a bad player, or an imbecile, you should blame Leviathan, who was the one who goaded me into making this Let's Play in the first place. It was thusly not a labour of craftsmanship or desire to entertain, but rather the product of a sense of both humour and obligation to their offhand remark. As a result, the entirety of this Let's Play was entirely frivolous. A sentence's worth of content stretched over 20 hours, spoken in a squeaky voice. You can get your revenge by reading their webcomic at ruinousfortune.com in either English or Russian. Keep an eye out for the 5 characters in it whom I helped design. Thank you.
Blood, tissue, and sinew. Peel them away, and they conceal a rather simple diagram.
They don't trust me anymore. I wasn't even invited to the final council. Where are the birds? Up. Where else? If you mean the real ones. I meant the real ones, yeah. Hey, neque poro quisquam est qui dolorem ipsum dolor sidamet, consectetur ad episci velit. Hey.
Is a hand? Or is it just the fingers? Or the prints themselves?
Turns out the birds aren't birds at all. Want to know what they are? Lean down and I'll tell you. Lower. Lower now. They're fingers. Did they tell you that? Yeah, this is a direct quote. We're not birds, we're fingers. That's why people call them executors. Are you tired? Want me to relieve your headache? I'd rather you relieve my heartache. It's become so acute lately, like my heart expires. Want to receive your payment? Well, everyone will get paid what they're due in the cathedral. That's where the final choice will be made. By whom? The authorities. Fitting. We'll fix everything. The decision will be made in the cathedral. If you did not like this... The Skinners, you're hated here. The Tanners, you're hated here. The Hindquarters, you're hated here. The Factory, welcome to the machine. Crude Sprawl, you're hated here. The Cemetery, you're always welcome here. The station is closed at the moment. The warehouses, only rats live here. The Gut, you're hated here. The Backbone, you're hated here. The Chine, you're hated here. The Flank, you're hated here. The Marrow, you're hated here. The Spleen, you're hated here. The Cape Dream Mistresses sleep here. The Atrium, you're hated here. The Bridge Square, you're hated here. And if you hated me, you should blame my brother and grandparents, who without their sponsorship, this playthrough would never have been possible. Thank you. Torn note. A dirty piece of paper. Touched to read the barely legible writing. Torn note. Schleifer contracted it. Anishkov contracted it. Yaksin contracted it. Lieutenant contracted it. Kurbanov contracted it. Vyuzhin contracted it. Captain hasn't contracted it. Put a bullet in his head. If you wanted to put a bullet in my head, blame influencer Casey Explosion, whose evangelism for this game eroded my resolve to avoid playing it. Thank you. Fuck you doing? Hey, that guy's burning. Are you gonna help him? You just gonna stand here? Just gonna let that happen? Uh-huh. Move along, Doctor. Nothing to see here. Work as usual. Butcher's work? You're killing people, you bastards! I can't believe this is our military. Even invaders are more humane. Stop this circus now! You know better than anyone there's no salvation from the sand pest. People go mad with pain. They're not responsible for their actions. We put them out of their misery and protect the healthy. Legal orders. You burn them alive! No, we burn infected miasmas. What miasmas? You know nothing about this disease. We have our instructions compiled by your own doctors. Mode of infection is unknown. It is transmitted through air, saliva, touch, and God knows what else. We've lost half our men already. You deserve it. Go, Doctor, stop lecturing us. If you were better at your job, we wouldn't have to be so good at ours. But there's still no cure. Or do you think we enjoy shooting and burning civilians? These people are healthy. Why have you seized them? They're looters. Like I said, it's work as usual. You do your job and we'll do ours. Fine. You do what you have to. If you wanted to do what you have to and burn me alive, blame streamer Pat Stares At, whose Mind Goblins series prejudiced me into thinking that recording oneself debased at the hands of a video game that makes you deeply uncomfortable and distressed to play is a good idea. Thank you. Now you know it's not my fault, it's all theirs. Everything that has happened up until this point, you cannot blame me for. I was but a victim of fate.
What's wrong with my eyes?
I know where you're going. Want a piece of advice? What, you're alive? Heed my advice. You think she loves you? Think she's a friend and he's a foe because he brought in cannons? Don't talk to her first. Talk to him. Bayala Saba. And now I need to go. Oh! If you want to know what I am going to do once I've finished this very soon, well, I'm interested in playing the first game, of course. More interested than playing this, but this one is more conducive to a playthrough because, as it turns out, this game was only 20 hours and that one was 60. Nonetheless, in terms of other games from Ice Pick Lodge, I was very interested in The Void. Looks weird, interestingly designed. Looking forward to Neuroskazka, which was which looks very pretty. Wish I could draw like that. In terms of more games to play from Ice Pick Lodge, there's of course Hopscotch and Know by Heart's coming out soonish. Don't know if that's really for me, but I'm looking out for it. I'll probably put on my wish list. Of course, after this, there will be my video essay about the ladders from Dark Souls 3. All about them. Very important that you know my opinions about all the ladders in Dark Souls 3. Oh! Oh! Oh, little Chiboas! Little Notomis. Or, Birch Mice. Awesome. Fuck yes. Hell yeah. This is the game. Oh, hope we get to keep one as a pet. Feed it nuts. Or little crumb.
For each traitor in the senior army staff, there's a coward, 2 drunkards, and 3 idiots. I'm not sure who's worse.
Is this the doctor? This is the doctor. What do you want? I want to influence your decision somehow. What is this nonsense? State your name and occupation. I told you I'm the doctor. I see. Give me a reason to call off the bombardment. You have 1 chance. I know how to make a serum. We'll need time to produce it at scale, but the recipe has been developed. No, Burakh. If you told me you had 3 tank cars of that panacea and an army of doctors from the capital ready to administer it, that would have convinced me. As it stands, there's no going back. It's too great a risk. We only had 12 days. That's not enough time.
You can put a horse on the stand, but you can't make it testify.
Why have you come? To confirm to you that we have the means to fight the plague. The plague, not the outbreak. Who cares? We already decided everything without you. You've come uninvited. What did you decide? Who are you to demand reports from us? A backwoodsman, a self-taught doctor practicing barbaric traditional medicine. Oh, but I know who you are. You're the person I was very wrong to put my hopes on. The person who let me down. Out! Now. I only need one more day. Hey, you over there. Seize this man and throw him out. Aglaya, listen to me.
It is canny to conceal that one is uncanny.
So you insist on a second attempt, huh? Stubborn. Not a second, a first one. Alright, let's roll then. Let us imagine that the last train has not yet left the station. Just don't be late. Now all I need is to not miss my stop. On the way home, when it all begins. Hello everyone. Welcome to my ill-fated Let's Play of Pathologic 2. I will never die. How did you get inside this coffin? You mean this train? A coffin is the best means of transportation in the world. It can get you to unimaginable places. You look alive though, so that vehicle is beyond your means for now. A free rider, huh? Just like you. No one sells tickets to ride this train. I'm coming home. All I need is to avoid distraction. This will be the first of many scenes of me walking through this wretched dry grass. Oh, I'd hate it here, the allergies. Railroads are beautiful. They always lead to one place you can't turn from. Except when there's a silly mistake like this crash. Dying just to escape fate. Stupid. Boring. What is that monster? Ahead or behind? Behind me. That is Pathologic, a creature of steppe legends from which the world was created. What was he trying to achieve here? Stupid. Life can never prevent death. What is ahead then? Why the fires? As you can see, the blood no longer flows in this artery. There's a clot. You're a doctor, aren't you? Do you have medicine with you? Medicine? What for? How should we know? You're the doctor, not us. Go and see. We're only ensuring no other trains are derailed. We'll fix yours too, once the beast leaves the tracks. I'll go on foot then. Someone's waiting for me. Aw, yeah. Aw, yeah. There's darkness ahead. I follow the rails into a black cloud. Oh. Want to share secrets? You first. I'm worried people won't be so happy to see me in the town. What if they shun me like some mutt and slam doors in my face? What if my toll is too small? I could fail to meet my goal. But maybe this is only anxiety. Yes, I can do it. You don't look like a tax collector. They ride first class. Not really. Your turn now, be honest, and your fate will change. That's how it goes. I'm a surgeon. I could become a good doctor, but I can't find myself. I'm afraid I'll waste my whole life in this state. Do you want to play? I'm game. Dice? With a stranger? No chance. I could be gambling with the devil. This place is wrong. It's not my home. Who is in the back room? Ooh, nice. Sorry. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Yummy. Someone heavy. I hear heavy steps in the dark. I can't see you. Are you death? No, I'm a doctor. What's wrong with you? Water! I'm so thirsty. I need a drink of fresh water. Please bring it to me. Where do I get it? Outside, in the yard. Hard to talk. Keep silent then. Life is in the water. Water in a barrel outside. Take a bottle from a cupboard. It all crumbles. But before we get water, let's look at our stuff. Smoked meat. Not as good as fresh meat, but better preserved. Tear it apart with your teeth, no forks or knives required. Canned meat, jerked meat, smoked meat, boiled meat, beef, ham. The art of cooking meat is truly honored in the town. Egg. People mostly eat unfertilized eggs. This is an empty illusion of possible life. Soap. Nothing fancy, but soap is the best way to maintain hygiene. Essential. One must recall that which is most dear to them before the match burns out, or the whole thing doesn't work. People in this town are like a flight of birds, and birds don't require names. Individuality is overrated. Fingernail. Kids play mice and guardians with these. The rules of this game are unknown, but the rumors say they change every day. You can't bring about good fortune, but you can craft it, like this hand-woven charm. I suppose I could trade it for something. They say that when Lara Ravel picked her finger with a needle, no blood was drawn, and she hasn't fallen asleep ever since. Water flows like time. Victoria Olgimskaya used to spin. Only for show, of course. What's there to spin when your husband slaughters bulls instead of herding sheep? The game goes like this. Find a nut that has travelled far, guess its name, shake it, and listen to stories from the soul trapped inside. This originated with the polyhedron. We didn't play it as kids. Beetle. Where do they go in the winter? Pat, 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 pat. Of all the things people can argue about, canvas versus leather used to be a very prevalent subject of discussion when I was a kid. Leather items are sturdier but harder to mend. Father used to have a good supply of both. Each has 2 eyes and 2 ears. Most have 1 nose and 1 mouth. Riddle me this. If eyes and ears were switched, what would be right? If noses and mouths were switched, what would be fixed? Did you kill him? Answer the question, Kayala. You're a step man, you must know the answer. But I don't. Then be on your way, Kayala. People don't kill people. Is that man alive, then? Wonder what game they play. Thirsty, fellow traveler? Not me. Someone else. There is water in a wooden barrel behind you. You walked past your goal. Not for the first time, and certainly not for the last. I saw the light. I thought it invited me here. Like a moth. Ouch! I wonder what play they game. Just a reminder to myself, I'll have to drink water too. Sorry. Back to whatever it is you were doing. Oh. Hi. Bad dream? Yeah, dream. I hope it doesn't come true. So you want to meet your dad? Yeah, me too. Good for you. Now leave me alone. Let Mother Bodo press your step, Kolbur. You haven't forgotten your people, have you? I'm not one of you. I wasn't raised on the steppe. Do you have a good heart? I don't know, I'm afraid it's sick. We hear Earth with our hearts. The heart has a pulse. So does Earth. If they sing in harmony, you hear the language of earth and herbs, the language of warmth and cold. Look, Tanga, and listen. Whose words are all around? What does Earth say? I can't decipher this language. A lot of time passed. You are gone. You forgot many things. Your heart is spoiled, Katanga. Let us see if it is rotten. I haven't. How can you see that? The fight will show whose heart is keen, who hears the unheard words. You will see my heart, the kin's blood runs through me. I was never torn from my people. I'll take a look. Bob. Bob. No. No. Bob. When your stamina is low, attacks are weaker. Hold mouse right to block enemy attacks. Not all attacks can be blocked though. Stamina is restored faster when you block in combat. Spill his blood. Let us trade hearts, Colborne. Let's become kin. What have you need of mine? Isn't it rotten? A river of good washes away a drop of rot. There's no me and you. There's a people, Katanga. Mix your flesh with ours. Just let me go in peace. When gravely wounded, the opponent surrenders. In step lore, the center of mind and knowledge is the liver, while the center of feeling and emotion is the lower guts. They view the heart as a less crucial and rather mechanical organ that simply pumps life around, oddly arriving at a consensus with science-based medicine. We're almost there. You relieved? Oh yes. Can't wait to get there. Just can't wait. Feels like we're riding in circles. Well, it was nice passing the time. Good luck with your father. I'm sure he can't wait. I hope so. This trip has been a long time coming. For the first time in many years, I'm home.
My dear son, Artemy, I write to you after so many years apart in the hopes that you may find a way to return to us. Something worries me. I fear a difficult trial approaches. I hope that your studies have proven fruitful and that you have achieved great skill as a surgeon. Such skill might be of use here. I remain the only physician in this town, but you know that I am growing old. I need an assistant.
I don't know, I don't think it was that funny. Time to read items again. Cloth mask. This mask resembles those worn by medical personnel, but instead of sterile gauze, it's made of dirty cloth, and instead of clinging tightly to my face, it hangs loose. Frankly, it's just a rag with 2 ties. Herbs are the words of Earth. She grants them to us by splitting herself open, and so, an herb given to the human body can tell us what ails it. Each blade of twire is unique. Herbalists tell them apart by their voices. Among the layers of the body, blood is often mentioned at other times. Flesh, but rarely both as 2 separate layers. Blood is flesh. We are of the same blood, you and I. You are of flesh, of our flesh. I was summoned back to my hometown by a distressing letter from my father. But who was in the back room?